ponder for a second. Think about this question I'm about to ask you. Is your glass half empty or half full? It's a very common expression that you see and that you hear all for years. You've heard that same expression. You've heard a lot of people ask that question. Some people say it's half empty. Some people say it's half full. Now, if you're like me, when you think about that question a while back, you're thinking, what? I don't know. Like, it's a weird question. If you think it's a weird question, but it's like something you really should think about, So for me, in my opinion, I think the glass is always refillable. It's neither half empty nor half full, but it's refillable. And I bring that up for a reason. There are people in our lives that will only temporarily love us. There are people whose souls will intertwine with us for just a moment. But once that moment is over, those souls will unravel and they'll wander away. Those are the kind of people, those people who are just there for the moment, they're there to take from you. They're there to take from you, but they don't do anything to give back. Those are the people who may take advantage of you, take advantage of what you have, and then once they take everything that you have, take what they need from you, they're just gonna leave you high and dry. They're just gonna leave you by the wayside with nothing else to give. Now, it sucks being taken advantage of. It sucks feeling those feelings. It sucks even experiencing that. But those heartbreaks are our teachers. Those moments, those vulnerable moments when we feel like those people took advantage of us, those are lessons we learn. After that, you really learn the lesson of what needs to be done in order to prevent that from happening. So what I'm trying to say is, it's always important to pour into people that'll pour into you. It is so important to do that. Please find those friendships that'll build you. Those arms that'll lift you up. Those hands that'll hold you. Find someone or some people whose heartbeat will be in rhythm with yours instead of in dissonance with yours. You feel me? And just pretty much surround yourself with like-minded individuals. That's pretty much what that is. So when I say pour into other people, as pour into those that pour into you, what I'm saying is you got to be able to encourage each other. You got to be able to help each other out, make each other better. The Bible in Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Iron sharpens iron. So who sharpens you, and who are you sharpening? And with that being said, as much as we love being able to want to pour into people that pour into us, what are you filling yourself up with? What are you filling yourself with? What are you feeding your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit? What are you feeding yourself in order to pour into other people? You got to make sure you're able to nurture yourself and feed yourself the right content in order to be able to pour into other people. So I'm going to say that again. You got to be able to feed yourself the right content in your spirit, especially mind, body, soul, and spirit, in order to be able to pour into other people. Because if you guys can pour into each other, there's no such thing as glass half empty or glass half full. When you think about it, the glass is always refillable. And if we feed ourselves, in particular, if we feed ourselves the right content that we need in order to help other people, our cup runneth over, right? Our cup runneth over. So make sure you find those people that are on the same wavelength, same amplitude, same frequency as you. That's the so I really want you to think about that question. Is the glass half empty or glass half full? No, it's refillable. The glass is always refillable. So let's say you pour into somebody, they pour into you. It's a cycle. You keep doing it. It's the same cycle over and over and over again. So you pour into others, they pour into you, and then they'll do the same for everybody else around them, those like-minded people in particular that are around them. So you'll see a bunch of glasses that are always full or always refilling at some point. You'll see it all refilling just constantly over and over again, because we're all trying to better ourselves. We all want to help each other. We all want to help each other grow and better ourselves each and every day. And at the same time, you have to make sure that those people that you are pouring into, make sure that those people are not taking advantage of you. Because sometimes you have to put a limit. Sometimes it's okay to turn the faucet off. Sometimes it's okay to turn the faucet off. Keep the best parts for yourself. It is okay to be able to turn that faucet off sometimes in order to refill yourself. Allow God to pour into us. Allow God to pour into you. Allow God to pour into you so that you'll be able to pour into other people. Let those like-minded individuals, those like-minded friends of yours be able to pour into you so that you'll be able to pour into other people. But as long as you pour into other people, you got to stay refilled. You got to stay filled up each and every time. It's not easy. No, it's definitely not easy. But it's worth it. Because if you're like me and you love seeing people flourish, you love people seeing grow, you love being able to help your friends grow and everything, you want to be able to be there for them to the best of your ability as much as you can. So ultimately, we are in control of who we can pour in, who we want to pour into. We're in control of how much we pour into people. And we are also in control of whether we decide to turn it off for a little bit just to refill ourselves and then turn the faucet back on. So ultimately, it starts with you. What are you filling yourself with? What kind of content are you feeding yourself? How are you feeding your mind? How are you feeding your spirit? How are you feeding yourself in order to fill other people's cups? What are you doing to make sure that you're staying filled? What is it that you're doing? Prayer, meditation? What kind of content are you utilizing? What kind of content are you reading, listening to? What is it? Any kind of content. It all plays a factor when it comes to pouring into others. It all plays a factor because at the end of the day, your glass is always refillable. Your glass is always refillable. Then keep that mindset in your, keep that mindset. Please keep that mindset. Yes, that question of glass half empty, glass half full, that question has been around for a very long time. I ain't gonna lie, it's been around for a long time. But we have to get in our mindsets of our glass is always refillable. It's always refillable. And you gotta believe that for yourself. So the more you realize that it's always refillable, you do whatever it takes to feed yourself the right content so that you can pour into other people. And then once everybody around you is filled and they keep pouring and pouring and pouring, our cups run over. Our cups are gonna keep running over and running over as long as we feed ourselves the right content, as long as we pour into other people the right content, and as long as we allow God to pour into us. Because ultimately, God is going to give us exactly what we need to nurture our spirituality. He's going to give us everything we need to nurture our spiritualities, our mindset. He's going to do whatever it takes. He's going to, you just got to listen to him. You got to open your heart. Listen to him. More is like less of you, more of him. You got to be open. You got to develop that relationship. Because once you develop that relationship, you'll be able to use that foundation to be able to pour into other people. So you got to be able to do that. It's vital. It's essential. It's very, very essential, and it's so important that you do that, and just keep pouring into people. Pour into those people in particular that you know are going to pour into you. But like I said, sometimes it's okay to turn that faucet off. Turn it off. Keep refilling yourself. It's so important to do that. It's so important. It's so important to do that. Because you don't want to get to the point of exhaustion where you can't give back to nobody. You don't want to get to that point at all. Because trust me, it sucks. I've been there multiple times. I've been there. It sucks. It completely sucks that if to the point where you can't give no more. You can't even give to yourself. It can get to that point, and I've been there. I've learned the lesson the hard way. So I learned to be weary of who I pour into, the people that I pour into, So long as they're pouring back into me and they're helping me realize, they see, they take notice and care about how much of myself that's being poured out, and they make sure that they refill what I've lost. Those are the kind of people you want to keep around. So don't think of your glass as half empty or half full. It may not be a negative thing when you think about either or. It may not be in a negative sense if you think about if your glass is half empty or glass half full. But always have that mindset of your glass is always refillable. So ponder these questions. Ponder these questions for yourself. What are you pouring into other people? What are they pouring into you? And what are you filling yourself with? What kind of content are you feeding yourself? What kind of content are you allowing other people to pour into you in order to flourish, in order to grow, and in order to help each other grow? That's what it's all about. Because if it's negative stuff, it's not going to help you. If it's negative stuff, you got to drain that negative stuff out. You got to drain that negative stuff out. Because if you don't, it's just not going to make it any better. But if you have positive vibes, great readings, positive vibes, mentors, anybody that's going to help you, anybody that's there to guide you and help you along the way, that's going to be able to pour into you the right content, you'll be good. And also, the most important thing is developing that relationship with God, allowing Him to pour into you, into our spirits. Because once He pours into our spirits and our mindsets, it's going to be able to help us. It's going to help us grow in every other aspect of our life. So, your glass is always refillable. Keep that mindset. Keep that mindset. Our cup runneth over. Iron sharpens iron. So as a man sharpens another man. Who sharpens you? And who are you sharpening? What kind of vibes are you surrounding yourself with? And who are the people that are not up to par with the vibe that you seek to have in your life? Keep that in mind.